Hello. Who is this?
Is that Kabir?
He's Kabir.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see you, Kabir.
और हाय हेलो नहीं कर सकते?
कबीर प्रणाम कर, प्रणाम शिवो सर.
Yes, yes.
शिवो?
उसका प्रणाम किया.
अच्छा शिवा कुछ कह रहे हो इससे?
नहीं, मैंने कहा उसने प्रणाम किया मुझे शुरू में.
अब कुछ बोलो आप.
ये कौन है?
मानसी दीदी, बुड्ढा की मैम, ये ललित सर
और ये
शिवो सर.
और आप कौन है?
आप कौन है?
नहीं कबीर.
और आपको क्या पसंद है?
मुझे बस क्या?
आपको सबसे ज्यादा क्या पसंद है?
क्या मतलब?
उनको स्लाइम बनाना पसंद है.
हाँ, स्लाइम बनाना.
Hi, Navneet. Wonderful to see you after a long time.
Oh, you made it, Navneet. Thank you. Lata. Hi, Lata.
Mansi, Pankaj ji, is he in the waiting room? He's not able to get in.
I don't know. I don't see.
Oh, okay.
And am I the host? Let me check. Am I the? Okay, I will just admit. I see Sandhya.
No, not in the waiting room. I'm handling it. No one's there in the waiting room.
Okay.
Sandhya just came in.
Yeah. Can you ask him to come again? Yeah.
So, Mansi, we can start in another 1 minute.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Pranam Shivo.
Yes, Pranam. Wonderful to see you, Sandhya, after long.
Pranam Mansi.
Hi, Sandhya. How are you?
I'm good. I just finished everything and I said that I have to finish everything. I need to get everything out of my way to be here this moment.
Good.
Hello, Sandhya.
Hi, Lalit. How are you?
Fine. Beta Kanjas. Pratham Nagesh.
All well. Pratham Nani ke ghar gaya hai. Abhi khana kha ke chutti hai kal, to he has gone to his Nani's house. So good to see you, Lalit.
After a long year.
Uh,
Hi, Sandhya.
Hello, Mukul. How are you?
बस शिव की दुआ है, कृपा है. All good.
Great. Wonderful.
Navneet, love you. Shivo,
Yeah.
Navneet has written a message for you.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. And,
Mansi, you look so pretty.
Navneet, thank you very much. And it's wonderful to have people like you in our life. So deeply committed and sincere. Can you unmute? Mansi, can you unmute Navneet?
yeah. I am unable to find her. Can someone else unmute her? I can't find her.
Hello, Mukul.
Hello. Mansi, I sent her the request.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi,
Shiva,
Hitesh.
shall
Long time. Wonderful to see you back.
shall we start, Shiva?
Yes, Mansi.
So pranam to everyone. It's such a honor to enjoy to have you all today with us. This is one of the most auspicious nights for sadhana in the entire year. And since yesterday, many of us have been feeling the light around Shivo and in our quantum field. And have been feeling very strong the presence of Vyas. We've been having conversations about the role Shivo has played in our life, the role Quanto Life has played in our life, and we are all in that vibrations today with Shivo's channeling, because I do feel he's going to channel today the way he has been the whole day. I can just feel that there is new consciousness that is going to dawn on all of us through him. We are literally going to go towards the light with him as our lighthouse. So I would invite Shivo to talk to us about the role of Guru in the current ascending Dwapar Yuga. And if you could take us that, there he has had such intimate experiences with Vyas. If you could take us to those moments and lead us further. And as always, invite you all to ask your questions. This is your session with your Guru. So please keep it flowing. Shivo, over to you. And I want to bow down to Dadu. I really feel his presence today, and I really bow down to him for everything he has been for me and for everyone in our lives. Thank you.
Yes, and
Yes.
Babu also.
Since morning, Dadu is with us. I can also feel him since morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandhya. You are my sister.
Hello, Quanto Shivo. Finally, I'm able to unmute.
Yes, Navneet, welcome back.
Thank you, Shiva, so much. I just want to offer my gratitude to both of you, Quanto Shivo and Mansiji. I mean, I've been really blessed to be here with you. Like, I'm so happy today. Because for the past 7-8 months I've been struggling a lot with emotional turmoil and all, and it was like I'm going into depression, but you just knew what I was going through, and you just took me out I cannot express my gratitude, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Shiva.
So, whatever Mansi described, a new portal, a channeling, feels like I'm in the perfect place for that. And you know what is a perfect place for channeling? That perfect place is when you are totally confused. You just don't know anything what's happening. You have no idea what you're going to speak. It's like nothing seems to be working. When you are in that state, that is actually the perfect state where divine can speak through you. So let me begin with, that which I know. And let me begin with my experiences with Sage Vyas. I've had lots of experiences with him. It was first time in, and today why do we remember sage Vyas? Because Guru Poornima is his birthday, and his birthday is celebrated as Guru Poornima because
I don't know.
say because people say that he is the Guru of Gurus. Now we have had so many gurus. Point to ponder is why he is called the Guru of Gurus. Of course, Shiva is the Adi Guru, but he is in the psychic planes. Shiva is the consciousness. Shiva is omnipresent. So he is the Guru. He's not even the Guru. He is the final destination. He is the source. But when it comes to human incarnations, it is the Ved Vyas who is called as the Guru. So I will try to explain that why he is very special. Not through what is written in scriptures, but through the experiences I had with him. So my first experience with Vyasji was in 2007, and that was the first time. Yes, that was the first time I went for Char Dham Yatra, and many of you would have been to Badrinath. Yeah, and there is a Vyas Gufa there. So can I ask how many of you have been to the Vyas Gufa? Can I have show of hand or anything? How many of you have been to Vyas Gufa? It seems none of you. It's okay.
Sir, I have been
Shivo
to the
went.
Vyas Gufa.
Oh.
I have been to. That's in Mana. I mean Badrinath
Yeah.
near. Yeah,
Yes.
I have been to that place.
Yeah. So when I went there first time, the moment I entered that place, the moment I set my foot in, I felt as if, from my neck, from Vishuddhi Chakra, something like spread. The whole aura, it got spread into the whole cave. It was very shocking. I had never had that kind of experience before. And I felt as if I was everywhere in that gufa. And then I sat down. I was having wonderful experiences. And then a question came to me. The question was, okay, so it is said about, now Sage Vyas is most famous for Mahabharata, writing Mahabharata, but actually he, he has written a lot of scriptures, which includes the Vedas, the 18 Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam, and some say Brahma Sutra. But for general public, it is mostly for Mahabharata he is remembered. And I had heard that when he was writing Mahabharata, Naradji had come to him, advised him not to write Mahabharata, because Naradji said, Kali Yuga will come and you are writing this story of war. And don't you think that if you write this, then there is going to be Mahabharata in every home in Kali Yuga? What kind of scripture are you going to write? So now this is something I knew. So I sat down there and I asked this question to him. I said, Vyasji, if you are present here, can you please tell me why you wrote when Naradji advised you not to write? The answer that came was very beautiful. And honestly speaking, I could not understand that answer fully at that point. It is only after the synthesis happened, only after the Quanto Life happened, I could really understand why he wrote Mahabharata. So he said that I completely trust life. Whatever life shows, everything is towards light. Whatever you may consider as a darkness is also a journey to light. So you may consider this war as something very unfortunate. But for me, this is a very essential part. It's a very essential event that has happened towards the future evolution of humanity. And of course, I could not understand it fully. Yes, I did understand that, okay, everything happens for good. So even this war must have happened for some good. But then I did not understand why. Then came Quanto Life, then came synthesis. And then I realized that the greatest sutra of transformation is to be fully present to the reality. If we are avoiding any part of the reality, and most of us tend to avoid the reality, the dark parts of reality, many times in the name of positive thinking, why we want to get into the negative stuff and all. But if you are not in the observation of the whole, a transformation is just not possible. So however gruesome the war was, it had to be, there has to be an observer to it. For that war to turn into a tool for quantum evolution, there has to be an observer. And it does not matter that a lot of people will, take negative lessons from the war, of cunningness, of fighting, of whatever, that war is justified. But was it possible for Gita to come if there was no war? The greater the conflict is, greater the wisdom that descends in that moment. But that does not mean all conflicts will result into wisdom. No. We see so many conflicts around us, but that does not result into wisdom. So when does a conflict goes into wisdom? When does a conflict, the essence of the conflict becomes the wisdom? When you are fully present to it. When you are an observer, when you are not desiring it, you are not resisting it. You are just there in the moment. And that is where Krishna is. He is not desiring the war, and yet at the same time, he is not resisting the war also. He has tried his best to keep the war away by giving such an offer to Duryodhana. Krishna says, even if you give just 5 villages, I will convince Pandavas not to go for war. Just give 5 villages. And what does Duryodhana say? I'm not going to give even the land equal to the pinpoint of the needle. So the war has to happen. And so Krishna is a perfect Sakshi there. He is the witness. And in that witnessing, the greatest wisdom happens. In that witnessing, the channeling happens. That I feel is the greatest sutra for today. And lot of people ask, if you ask a lot of people what is Quanto Life about, what is the sadhana, deepest sadhana, some people will say it has a wonderful synthesis process, it has invocation of gods and goddesses, and it has a lot of wisdom flowing in, and it has got commune and everything. But actually, if you ask me, what is the crescendo of Quanto Life? Crescendo of Quanto Life is to channel the space. That is the deepest sadhana. Or it is, it is to how, to what extent you can channel the space shows to what crescendo you have reached. So that was my first meeting with Sage Vyas. And then one more meeting happened with him. And that was in 2013. I think 2013 was the floods, right? It was just 1 year before the flood, so I don't exactly remember. When were the floods? Anybody remember? I think it was floods were in 2014, if I'm correct. So probably it was 2013. So
Yeah, Mukul is saying 2015. Yeah.
15. No, it cannot be 2015. It has to be 2014. Because I went there second time just 1 year prior to the floods, and I think it was in 2013.
2013 June, as far as I remember.
Okay, so okay, whatever. So then my second meeting with Vyasji happened, and in fact, so we were just sitting at my home in Gwalior, and just we planned that, okay, me and my parents said, okay, we are going, just like that. I mean, there was a plan to go to Badrinath, and I realized that. Okay, so Prachiti is saying it was in 2013. So this was, my visit was in 2012. So just before that, we went to Badrinath, I had just started to write. I thought I'll write a book, some book, I did not know what. And eventually, through synchronicities, I reached the website of a quantum scientist, Dr. Amit Goswami. And there was a link of Are we in Dwapar Yuga? So if it was not a website of a quantum scientist, I wouldn't have bothered about it. I would say a lot of people keep talking this or that, and I am not interested in all this. Correct? But what really took my curiosity was a quantum scientist is talking. That means there must be something in it. So I started to research. So when we went to Badrinath ji, I had already come across this concept of that we are in ascending Dwapar. So again, I went there, I sat down in the gufa, and I had a very massive experience. And he is telling me, Vyasji is telling me, and I come with you. I was actually shocked. I said, it's a great blessing if you come with me. And then he says, I am coming with you. And I came back, and I could feel that a lot of channeling started to happen. I started to find out, first I found the evidences that we are actually in Dwapar, and they were scientific evidence. I was very clear, I will not go on what is written in scriptures. I mean, I told Vyasji that, listen, whatever is written in scriptures, because In scriptures, anything can be written. Because when the scriptures were written and how we are interpreting, how many times they have been rewritten, and what kind of changes have happened in them, I'm not going to believe all that. So if you want to say something to me, you have to give me the scientific evidences. And to my utter surprise, I started to get scientific evidence that we are in ascending yuga and we are in Dwapar yuga. Then some very beautiful insights started to dawn. You know, a lot of people were also saying that, okay, we are in Dwapar and Krishna came in Dwapar yuga. So, then this insight came to me that descending yuga was different and ascending yuga is different. And when I started to think very deeply about it, this whole channeling happened. And I think that channeling is the crux of understanding for today's world. All the religions of the world were seeded, almost all the religions, except very few religions. All the religions were seeded in descending yuga. So all these religions carry the descending yuga consciousness, descending consciousness. What is the meaning of descending yuga? That means the consciousness is constantly decreasing. So all these religions were the tools to handle decreasing consciousness, descending consciousness. And now we are in ascending yuga, means the consciousness is rising. So what used to happen in descending yuga? Because the consciousness was higher in past was always better. Past is always better than present. That is the descending yuga consciousness. So you always tend to follow the past. But in ascending yuga, consciousness is rising. That means in ascending yuga, the consciousness is rising. That means future is better than present. And that very understanding made me realize that the true spirituality of this age is we cannot follow any scriptures. We cannot follow any past morals. All that is past spirituality. That spirituality is not going to work. And then we have the evidences in the world, very clear evidences. If you look at the current power structure of the world, now look at the most powerful nations. Are they the most religious nations or the least religious nations? What would you say? Can I have your answers whether the nations which are at the top of power structure today, are they the most religious nations or the least religious nations? And the so-called most religious nations, where are they in this power structure? What would you like to say? Anybody would like to say something on that? Yes, it is a least.
Shivaji.
Yes, Venkat.
Sir, I think most religious are underdeveloped actually. Those who are following less religion, like America, Israel, whatever it may be, they are top of the world. So
you know why?
We should. Thumbs up for you, Shivaji. Thumbs up for you.
You know why? You know why? So Preeti is saying they are not religious, but they use religion to control. About whom Preeti is saying, I don't know.
They're from Gulf countries. Mainly Islamic people are not accepting, sir.
Yeah,
They're always
so
religious.
they can use religion to control because people think that religion is supreme. That's why they can control, right? Isn't it very clear? In Gulf countries, if they can be controlled by religion, is this because people think that whatever has been written in Quran, that is the final word, right?
Correct.
So is there any doubt in this that the traditional religions are not working? They are just not working. So if we look at, so this ascending Dwapar started in 1700. And if you look at the superpower of 1700, 18th century is Britain. Now, there is something, I find very worrisome, that we are trying to stick very hard to our past. And that is not the religiousness. I will not call it religiousness. It is not the Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is that Dharma which is happening right in this moment. It is throbbing right in this moment. There are problems we all face. There is a journey we all need to undertake. But that guidance is available right in this moment. It is not written in some scripture somewhere. So if we go back into the first superpower, something very strange about Britain. There was a time, there was Roman Empire. A lot of us have heard the stories of how great the Roman Empire was and what kind of engineering, architecture, military strategies, arsenal they used to have. But the strange thing is, Romans never controlled Britain. You know why? Because they did not consider it of any worth. It was so underdeveloped. The Britain was so underdeveloped that Romans did not bother about controlling it. And when they tried to control it, because it was so distant, it was an island, it was so distant from the shore, so difficult to reach. There were no crops, no agriculture, there was nothing there. Yes, Poonam, Poonam is a geography scientist. She's saying Britain had nothing to offer. Yeah. So do you know Britain was the least cultural nation in Europe? All the nations of Europe, they carried the great heritage of Roman Empire or this or that empire. Britain had no glory to speak. And nobody cared about Britain till 1400. Britain had no place in Europe. Forget the world. Then what happened? Now, we have already come into the ascending Kali Yuga. Okay. So little bit of ascending consciousness is already happening. So then what happens? So in all these Catholic nations, there was so all these Catholic nations, they were like very clear, everything, every word written in the Bible is the final. Anybody speaks anything about it, that person will be punished, killed, tortured, burned alive. So Copernicus found out that now in Bible says sun goes around the earth, and Copernicus found out that it is not so. It is the earth which goes around the sun. Fortunately for him, just when his work was published, he died 2 months after that. So there was nothing the church could do. But Galileo supported the view of Copernicus. And you all know what happened with Galileo. A scientist of his caliber was put into house arrest for whole life, and he got blind with all this maltreatment of church. There were so many scientists which were burnt on stake by church because they said something which was very distantly not in synchrony with the Bible church. But Britain was the nation because it was not very culturally advanced. So the roots of the Catholic religion were not very strong. So the first intellectual revolution started in Britain. First revolution for freedom. And the people in Britain said, we don't care what is written in Bible. We'll find out our truth. And that is why Britain became the nation where the science and technology flourished. That's why all the scientific development happened in Britain. And that is how Britain became the superpower. It became superpower not because it was a religious nation, but actually it was a least religious nation. Even today, in Europe, the highest number of atheists are in Britain. That is the first superpower. Second superpower, US. What past does it have? It was founded just 300 years back. So even that has no past. Why is that happening? Because the wisdom that was given to us in past is not working anymore. And the nations who are free from this burden of the past, they are at least, they don't have a baggage. They can at least search for the intelligence, for the wisdom which is working in this moment. So Mansi is asking who is going to be the next superpower. Yeah, so let's see, it would be some okay, we'll discuss that later maybe. So to understand who will be the next superpower, we have to first understand what kind of world is coming. So Ranjana is saying, in that case, India can never be a superpower. It can be. But for that, see, the advantage with India is that we are the only nation in the world who have some memory of the highest consciousness. India is the only nation in the world which has the memory of Satyuga and Treta Yuga. If you see all the religions, the religions which came up in the world, Jews, the Christians, the Islam, they wiped out all the earlier religions. So that consciousness doesn't exist in the world. And all these religions, the Islam and Christianity, they were founded in Kali Yuga. So they are not very high conscious religion anyways. So in India, at least we have the truth which came to us at the peak of consciousness. So what is really needed for us is to respect our past, but not to get bounded by it. Our heritage is not the scriptures. Our heritage is the understanding of consciousness. And that means we have to find out what works in this moment. Whatever has been written in the past is not the intelligence of this moment. This is something we have to understand. We cannot live on the glory of our ancestors. That's what we are trying to do. We have to create right in this moment. So So we have to understand, see, what is the great heritage of Hindu Dharma? Let me just try to explain that. The great heritage. And I would like to, in terms of what works today in spirituality, I would like to give two peak examples of what is the highest consciousness of Hindu Dharma. First example is the Upanishads say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. And who was the Guru or who is the Guru is the one who pulls you out of this false belief that I am this ego, that I am this body, I am this mind, this false belief. And he takes you to your existence as Brahma, that you are Brahma. You are not this ego. So the one who holds your finger, holds your hand to this journey of you knowing Aham Brahmasmi, he is the Guru. So now a question is coming to my mind. That question I want to ask everyone. What is the difference between a Guru and a teacher? Are they same?
No.
So what is the difference?
A teacher would, hi Shiva, a teacher would give you just the knowledge. A guru would make you look at the practicality of it.
Sorry, teacher will?
Teacher would only give you a knowledge like one we do in school books.
Yeah. So, and Guru?
Guru would give you a practicality, like so when we are walking on it, it is very necessary when we have a Guru in the physical presence. It's help our walk to be easy, because we would fall and we would rise up, but in that fall, when we have the knowledge of that of Guru with he would not give us a knowledge. He or she would say, okay, it's okay, go move beyond.
Yeah, but
they would give a
what would you call it? What is that beyond?
I do not have the particular word for what's that beyond.
So,
Shiva, teacher will tell you what is known, and Guru will show you how to access unknown.
Right. Yes, yes, thank you, Mukul. Yes, Mansi, you were saying something?
Shiva, can I say that the Guru has already experienced and is leading you to have your own experience, is leading you to the door to have your own experience of that.
Right. Yes.
Rather than just giving you the knowledge.
Yes. Yes, Vinodji, you were saying something?
Teacher teaches you from outside. He will give you some knowledge from outside, and Guru will explore you within, from whatever is there within me. Guru will explore that and will show me the potential, how I can come out from within. So it works from within, and teacher works from outside.
Okay, so whoever said whatever is correct. Sangeeta, you said something. But Vinodji, just I hope I don't forget, I want to bring in something very interesting about within. And even the within is a superstition. There's nothing called within. There's nothing within. Yes, Sangeeta ji.
Guru guide us how to move in the life further, और वो हमको एक spiritual path दिखाता है, कैसे हमको spirituality में मिलती है, कैसे हमको अपना आध्यात्मिक शिक्षा देते हैं गुरु हमको.
तो कैसे बताता है गुरु?
गुरु हमको दीक्षा देते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि कैसे हमको अध्यात्म में जाना है, साधन करना है, कैसे क्या करना है.
नहीं, वो भी तो टीचर ही है ना.
हाँ, टीचर है, पर वो गुरु थोड़े ऊपर हाई लेवल के गुरु हैं.
शिवाजी,
तो यस वेंकट.
Teacher is materialistic, guru is spiritual. Guru is spiritual. Very
Yeah,
nice
so what is
answer, I think.
I mean, the teacher can be a very great ascetic. He may be living in jungle and he may be very moralistic. Is Guru moralistic?
Yes, yes.
Is Guru moralistic?
At high moral.
Guru
Yes,
is of
yes,
high
very
moral.
moral.
I would say
High
Guru
moral.
has no morals.
No more. Teacher has a
Shivo, can I
It is a
intervene?
teacher. Yeah, just a minute. It is a teacher who has morals.
No, no,
And I
Guru
will.
are always moral.
Sorry?
Gurus are moral. They have moral support. They give us moral support. They are
There is
really
something very beautiful, Buddha used to say. Someone who has already, and Vinodji is here, so he's a Jain. And Mahavir used to say, I mean, I would refer to Mahavir in this. He used to always say that darshan is always bigger than charitra.
Guru, good evening.
So what is this meaning that darshan जो है चरित्र से हमेशा बड़ा है. इसका अर्थ क्या है कि जिसने देख लिया, चरित्र उसके लिए है जिसने नहीं देखा है. जिसने देख लिया उसके लिए चरित्र का कोई मीनिंग नहीं. इसीलिए आप कृष्ण को कई बार आप ऐसा पाएंगे. ज्यादातर मामलों में कृष्ण इज मॉरलिस्टिक, but there are times where he crosses the morals, and I am not giving any license to become immoral. Some people, when they look at the life of Krishna, they say, okay, Krishna was immoral and I can also become immoral. No, sorry, you have to remain moral. Only time you can become immoral is when, by becoming immoral, you create a great value in the world. For your selfish reasons, you cannot become immoral. But when you see that by crossing a moral, you create a great value, there is a leap of consciousness by crossing the moral. So the Guru is not bound by morals. Why is not bound by the morals? Because morals come from past. Guru lives in present. So the difference between, and a teacher will be moralistic. He will have very clear set of morals and rules to follow. So what is the difference between a teacher and a Guru? Teacher is following some past. There is some knowledge somebody has already written. He has imbibed it. He has perfected it. Maybe he has also practiced it. And that's what he is teaching. Guru knows what is coming from past, but he is not bound by it. He is accessing this moment. In this moment, he is feeling what is required in this moment. He is feeling the crisis, the possibility of this moment. And he is accessing the consciousness. And he is channeling it right in this moment. The one who does that is the Guru. If you see, none of the founders of great religions followed their past. Neither Krishna followed his past, nor Buddha followed his past, nor Mahavir followed his past. They all created, they all access the consciousness right in that moment. So, to be spiritual, being spiritual is not about following what is written in scriptures. Yes, we respect scriptures. Whatever is written, we respect that. We get the essence of wisdom, which is hidden there. Gita is absolutely wise. I mean, Gita has given one of the greatest pearls of wisdom. And even that is the second highest example of the pearl of wisdom. The first one I said, Aham Brahmasmi, written in Upanishads, the greatest sutra of Upanishad. What is the sutra of Gita? Can somebody tell me what is the Sutra of Gita? What is the key teaching Krishna is giving in Gita?
Surrender.
Pavitranaaya
Surrender.
sadhanam
Why?
vinasaaya chatuskratam dharma samsthapanardaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
That's not the. I mean, Krishna is beginning to reach the crescendo.
Do your duty for the sake of duty.
Saksi bhav.
No expectations, yeah.
Do your duty for the sake of duty.
Fine, but why no expectations? I mean, if you don't have an expectation, how will you act? Why should Arjun fight if there are no expectations?
Do what you are supposed to do, but don't do it for the result. I mean, do what you have to do.
Right. Right. So that is also a sutra of Gita. But what is the crescendo of Gita?
Be in the present, think from the present, and then act.
Okay.
Shivaji, always keep mind zero.
Yeah, but what is the point of keeping mind zero?
Always keep mind zero.
Why? Good answer.
Live in only present. Live in only present.
But why?
Because Krishna became a hero by keeping his mind
Why
zero
to be
always.
in present? Why? This is a big sutra today. A lot of people say live in present. But why? Why to live in present? Gita gives a very beautiful answer. Sorry?
Everything is
Only
changing at a quantum speed. So if we don't stay in present, we are not changing with the circumstances or the change.
So whoever has said whatever is a valid answer. Okay. But let
Shiva,
me tell
are
you
you
what
checking the chat also? There are a lot of answers on chat.
Okay, fine.
And there is a question also. Shiva, when you said Aham Brahmasmi, Prashant asked, what is the meaning of Brahm in that?
Oh, okay. So Mansi just remind, okay, I will come to that.
Okay, but would you like to read all the
I
chat?
also need to talk about, I also want to talk about the concept of within, because that is also a very good
Yes,
concept.
I will write it down. Yeah.
So
Shivaji, past is like a dead body, future is like a newborn baby, present is that's why we should live in present. Shivaji?
Yeah.
Past is like a dead body, future is like a newborn baby.
No, present is like a newborn baby, not future.
No, future is present. That's why we have to live in
That's
present.
okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Sure, when we are not in present, then past will overpower us.
Right, but that's okay. That is also valid as per Gita. But what is the highest sutra of Gita?
So it's Sakshi Bhav.
कर्म करो फल की अपेक्षा मत करो.
To become instrument of God.
Shiva Pranam, I think you can do your karma only in the present. Not in the past.
Why?
You can't do your karma in future or in the past.
No, but you do karma by living in expectations and everything.
Without attachment.
They are doing a lot of
attachment.
good for they are doing a lot of so-called good for the world. A lot of people are trying very hard doing this or that, and they have a goal that I want to make this world a better place.
But that is attachment. So you have to perform your duty without the attachment.
Okay, so that is also a valid answer. But let me give the highest, the crescendo of Gita. Crescendo of Gita is act in accordance with divine wish. Channel the divine. You getting it? Everybody's getting it? What is Krishna telling Arjuna basically? That Arjun, this decision you have made of quitting the war is a moral decision. Because Arjun gives all the, great arguments that why it is better to become a Muni. See, Arjun is saying, I don't care for the victory. I don't want it. I will just go to the jungle. I'll become a Muni. And then he gives so many examples that we are of the same clan. Why should we fight? And then he gives examples that in this fight, all the men will die, and then these women will be abducted by Yavans and all, and there is going to be a world sankar. All our future generation will get corrupted. All the examples all the morals he is giving. And what is Krishna saying? Krishna is saying all these morals you are giving from past. This is all a part of ego. That you want to quit the war, you think that you are going to be a wonderful, great person. In front of you, there is an example, a prototype of a great person, and you want to conform to that. That's not who you are, and that's not what the divine wish. And Krishna very clearly defines in Gita. I mean, that I think is the crescendo of Gita. He very clearly defines what is the difference between good karma and bad karma. He is not saying the moralistic karma is a good karma. What is he saying? He is saying any karma done under the influence of your ego is a bad karma. Good karma is whatever you are doing as per the wish of God. So what is he talking about? Channel the
Shiva, there is a question by in the how do we know what is divine's wish? How do you know this is divine's wish?
So in Quanto Life, we have developed very practical methods for this. Mansi had an experience yesterday. So maybe Mansi will share that. And those of you who practice Quanto Life processes may have begun to know that how to know what is divine wish. And I will dwell on that a bit. So, what does Krishna describes? The crescendo of Gita is channel the God. However, that was descending yoga. Now we are in ascending yoga. So what is the difference? In Quanto Life also we are talking about channel the God. But in Gita, because we were in descending yoga, highest priority of humanity in descending yoga was to survive. Because consciousness is constantly reducing, humanity is under great danger. So survival was the highest priority. So even in Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight so that humanity will survive, so that there has to be example that it is good which wins over evil. That's how the world will survive. Otherwise it will not. But in current times, in ascending yoga is a very creative yoga. Every moment a new creation happens in ascending yoga. So here we channel divine for creation, not for survival. That is the difference between what Krishna is saying in Gita and what we are talking in Quanto Life. Channel the God, channel divinity. We like to call not the God, but space. Because when we say God, people think God is somewhere. They also say God is everywhere, but they can't find it. So what we realize that it is better we say space. So channel the space. That is the highest, the peak sutra of Quanto Life. And many of us have been practicing it. So now there was a question which is very relevant for me to take. What is Brahma? So now I'm going to speak in scientific terms. Of course, that answer has been given in scriptures also, but when we understand the same concept through science, it is much better. It is a much deeper understanding. So all of us, everything in the universe has got an electromagnetic field. Humans have a very strong electromagnetic field. Ask any scientist, where is the boundary of that electromagnetic field? Let's say there is a magnet. Now I'm explaining what is Brahma, okay? I hope you, I mean, I don't get lost, or people don't get lost in this scientific explanation. What I am explaining, what is God, what is Brahma. So let's say there is a magnet. The magnet has an electromagnetic field around it, magnetic field around it. Where is the boundary of that? Can someone tell me where is the boundary of that magnetic field?
Shiva, it doesn't have a boundary, right?
Boundary.
Doesn't have a boundary. Though there is an illusion that it has a boundary. The reason is the intensity keeps decreasing. But actually, the electromagnetic field of that magnet exists in the whole cosmos. Same way, everything in this cosmos has got a unbounded nature and an unbounded nature. Like magnet has a bounded nature, it also has an unbounded nature. Same way, we humans have a bounded nature, our body, and an unbounded nature. That is our aura, which is spread everywhere. Okay. But now that is why I was saying that within is not the right understanding, because we are not within. We are within and also outside. Everywhere. We are omnipresent. We are omnipresent. Yes, you can say within, but within what? Is it within my body? When we say look within, where are we looking? Are we looking within our body? Or we are omnipresent, everywhere existing, but outside that also there is an envelope, and we are that also. From there we are looking at within. That existence of Earth, which is omnipresent. That's the real within. Vinodji, I hope my point is getting across.
Yes, got it. Thank you so much.
So we are within and also omnipresent. And this concept of within, there is a lot of concept, a lot of people talk about the guru is inside you, follow your guru, listen to your inner voice. And I really find it can be really a big trap. A lot of people are trapped into that understanding that my guru is sitting inside me. You know why? Because we have to know what is sitting inside us. That which is omnipresent is unbounded, holistic vibrations, right? But sitting inside us are the bounded vibrations. That is our subconscious, our ego. The vibrations of fear, of greed, of revenge, of guilt, all are sitting inside us. They all are creating their own noise. There's so many patterns inside us, all of them have a noise. That's why we feel the noise all the time. So when you are saying, I'm going to listen to the guru inside, that is a sound that is a voice you're listening to.
Shiva, I have a question. So the unbounded,
yes,
the unbounded exists everywhere. So it exists within us also, right?
It has no boundary. It is like crossing us also.
Right.
Yeah.
And Shiva, the bounded is
maybe the unbounded is also felt strongest around us. Like a magnetic field is felt strongest around a magnet. But again, who we are, our vibrations, what we carry in this body is a very small part. The major part is somewhere else. So we cannot even say that what is around us is the major part of our unbounded existence. And actually, if you ask me, what is the highest purpose of invocation of gods and goddesses? Can someone suggest me what is the highest purpose of invocation of gods and goddesses?
We bring in their consciousness as we connect to them.
Yes, we bring in their consciousness.
We bring in their energy.
Here, notice bring in. I will come to that. Yeah. Yes.
It breaks our bonded energy when they come in.
Yeah. No, it's not they're coming in. We are merging into them.
As you said, we are channeling the divine.
They exist, right? They exist. They are the cosmic forces. Maybe they are not the cosmic forces. Maybe they are the forces in the solar system. Okay. But they are still the forces which are very vast. Okay. So when we connect our own existence, which was more concentrated around us, though it existed in the whole cosmos, that unbounded existence is getting connected with another unbound existence which has no center. Or maybe it has a center, but that center is somewhere else. And that center is very strong. Like once we were, we were discussing about Sati Yuga and Mansi, then she went to Sirius B, which is supposed to be the place of highest consciousness. So maybe they're operating from there. But we, in that process, our concentrated omnipresence becomes more holistic. So our omnipresence is connecting with their omnipresence. And even though what we experience is also omnipresence, but that becomes more holistic. Am I making sense here?
Shiva, can we go deeper into the synthesis process and how it works? And really, what is the difference between the synthesis we used to do earlier and the new thing of connecting into space? Like, we have been going deeper in synthesis through our freedom of sadness, and then deeper with invocations, and then now that we are connecting to space. I know we have gone deeper. I can see the effects, but I do not understand the mechanism. I don't know if everyone wants to know that, but I have wanted to go deeper into that.
Sure, sir. I have one question also.
About invocation. Is saying Brahm is not clear. I am going to explain more. I know I haven't explained fully. Yes, Atin, you are saying something?
Yeah, I had question about invocation, basically.
Yeah.
So, is it like when I
मैं जरा Brahm explain करूँ, फिर I'll come to invocation. Okay. So what is Brahma? Okay. So now I explained that every being in this cosmos has its own electromagnetic field. And every electromagnetic field is unbounded and omnipresent. Now, you can say that, how is it possible that all the electromagnetic fields exist in the same space? And Just to give you a very simple example, it's not an exact example, but just to make you understand. So in a room, you light a essence stick of sandalwood, then the whole room is full of that sandalwood essence. Then you light another essence stick, agarbatti of rose. Now that rose also exists everywhere, right? There's no boundary, all can coexist. So all electromagnetic field can coexist. So now what is Brahma? Brahma is that electromagnetic field under whose context all these electromagnetic field exist. So what is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi? I hope Prashant, that is clear. The very scientific definition of God. And scientists have found out that there is a cosmic electromagnetic field which pervades all over cosmos. And they have also calculated the they've calculated what is the intensity of that electromagnetic field. I don't remember that. It's very faint. But within that electromagnetic field, every other electromagnetic field operates. So that is Brahma. Now Mukul is saying Brahma means which constantly expands. Yes, that is the meaning. But yes, that is the meaning given in scriptures, in Hindu scriptures. And Hindus are the only one who declared, who has such a beautiful name of God called Brahma. Such a beautiful name you will not find in any scriptures of any other religion. And a lot of people would have doubted it, that why they call it Brahma. Brahma is the one which all the time it is expanding. And they would say that, oh, what is this nonsense? It is not Brahma and all that. But do you know what is the greatest scientific discovery ever? Greatest scientific discovery ever. Would somebody like to tell me what is the greatest scientific discovery ever?
The electric bulbs, sir, by Thomas Edison.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
The universe is expanding and accelerating.
All right. That is the greatest scientific discovery ever. Look at it, try to understand, everything in your life will change. And that is the deepest meaning of God. That is the meaning of Brahma. And you know what? It is so much part of our knowledge today that cosmos is expanding, not just expanding, but also accelerating. But you know what? When was this proven? Very recent. It is very recent. It was only in 1997 it was conclusively proven that yes, cosmos is constantly expanding and accelerating. It was only in 1997. So this discovery is far greater than internet or whatever you call it. So this is Brahma. Now what is Aham Brahmasmi? So now inside me, all those subconscious patterns are there. They also have their own electromagnetic field. So those electromagnetic field inside, bounded, concentrated one, they're pulling all my unbounded. That is making it stick to it. I cannot experience my unbounded nature. What is the meaning of depression? Depression is when your aura is shrunk inside your body. It has become smaller than your body. That's when you are depressed. In a normal state, aura should always be outside your body. But when you are depressed, it is shrunk inside. Why it is shrunk inside? Because all those patterns inside, they're just pulling that doesn't allow you to expand your aura. You can't experience Aham Brahmasmi. You can't experience your omnipresence. But now that is something, again I'm saying, deeply missing in Hinduism. In Hinduism, there is no practice to dissolve subconscious. And I've said this many times. It did create a lot of flutter. A lot of people opposed it. And then I said, okay, tell me, where is the practice? Where is any practice in Hinduism to deal with subconscious? Nobody has ever told me that, actually. I've never come across a single practice in Hinduism which is about dissolving your subconscious. And Buddhism is totally based on that. Buddhism is completely about dissolving subconscious. That is why I always say it is extremely essential to synthesize Hinduism and Buddhism. Both religions are incomplete. But if you put them together, they do become a complete religion. So in Quanto Life, what we have done is we have synthesized both. We have synthesized the Aham Brahmasmi understanding of Hinduism with how the sanskaras are cleansed, how the subconscious dissolves. We have brought them together. We have brought them together. So Buddhism, Mansi is asking why the Buddhist nation did not become the superpowers. Actually, Buddhist nations were extremely successful in Kali Yuga. Extremely successful. You will be very surprised. You know, a lot of people say that we were enslaved by Islam and then by colonial powers. I would say we are the culprits. We have to look within there. We have to find out. We have to introspect. The reason lies within us. We forced the Buddhists outside. We eradicated all signs of wisdom of Buddha. We completely rejected him. If you look at all Buddhist nations, none of them was invaded by Islam. None of them. None of them was invaded by any colonial powers for any substantial time. Japan, Vietnam, Korea, Cambodia, Burma, look anywhere. Taiwan, okay, China did not remain Buddhist. It became, when it was quite Buddhist, nobody could control it actually. So none of the Buddhist nation were most successful in Kali Yuga because Buddhism was the religion for Kali Yuga. But in ascending Yuga, you got to experience the consciousness. What Buddha says final reality is Shunya. Buddha says that the seed of all problem is desires. So then there is a fundamental problem. Because in ascending consciousness, in ascending Yuga, you will experience the expansion when you can channel the divine wish, the divine desire. Desire is not a bad word. Desire stuck in your ego is the problem. Desire is not the problem. But desire is stuck in your ego. It is trying to fulfill what ego wants. That is the problem. But if you are channeling the desire of cosmos, that is the most beautiful thing. And that is why there is a fundamental problem with Buddhist nation in ascending yoga. Because now even if you see the Buddhism in Buddhist nation has imbibed a lot of component of various religions, including Hinduism. So according to Buddhism, there is no God, so there can be no synchronicity, there can be no channeling. What will you channel when everything is zero? The final concept is shunya. What will you channel? Mansi, is there any other question?
Shivo, there was one about invocation by Atin, and then there was the synthesis thing, about what is the difference between the synthesis. But no other question. I think we
So
have.
what? So
Shivo, there was one more. How do we know what is the divine wish? I think you addressed it. I don't know if you want to go deeper.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to go deeper into that because that is the whole crux. So Prashant, I hope now the Brahm is clear. Brahm is the cosmic electromagnetic field under which all other magnetic fields. Okay, now this cosmic electromagnetic field does not have a center. But all other electromagnetic fields, they have a center. That means even though they are omnipresent, but they are not, the intensity is not same everywhere. So, okay, Prashant, thank you for asking beautiful question. Yes, so what was the question? What is
my question, Shiv sir?
Yeah.
Yes, Atin, you can ask.
Yeah. So I was just asking, so just a small question. So I was just asking, like when we say we invoke Ganesha, we invoke Saraswati, we invoke. So is it they are coming from somewhere, or we are just stepping into? They are always already present everywhere, but we are just stepping into that vibration field.
So they are present everywhere, first thing. Second, their intensity may be more in India. Why? Because a lot of people remember them. So they are connected with, their magnetic field also. So it is possible that we experience their intensity more in India. Maybe Mansi can, try to experience this, or those who are living outside India. Or maybe, if you connect the moment in your wish, you want to connect, you're connected wherever you are. Probably it is like that.
So no, I'm asking, they are coming from somewhere, or they are already there. They are not coming and not going.
Already there. They are playing their role. See, now another factor which I want to bring in is the plasma, the age of plasma.
Shivu, just to follow up on Atin's question. So, when we remember them, maybe their center is somewhere else and they are somewhere else and they have the magnetic field. But in us remembering them, aren't we connecting to that?
Yeah,
there is a portal, there is a bridge happening.
Yeah, we get connected to that center, and we also, even our aura, our omnipresence, that center also has shifted.
Yes.
So what I have experienced, that you can experience Aham Brahmasmi without any invocation. But when, okay, so I can say this based on my own experiences. I had the experience of Aham Brahmasmi in 2009. Yet I had to go through extremely difficult times, facing asuras, facing black magic, extreme kind. There I understood the difference between Aham Brahmasmi and invocation. So like right now, so there used to be those huge attacks, and so to move away from those attacks, to protect myself, I'll just sometimes just close my eyes, I'll sit and I'll go in samadhi. I am merged in the cosmos. And there'll be a huge, I used to enjoy that actually many times. There'd be a huge hue and cry in that whole Asura Sena. Ki ye kahan gaya, kahan gaya. They couldn't trace me after that. It was not possible for them to trace me because I have gotten merged with the Brahma. So Aham Brahmasmi has happened. Now they cannot attack me. But the problem is, until I have this body, I cannot live there forever. So I have to come back. And the moment I come back, the attack begins again. So that's where you know, before these attacks, I wouldn't believe in gods, goddesses. I will also tell everyone, यार क्या यार ये सब बातें मत किया करो लक्ष्मी जी की और गणेश जी की ये सब I am not interested. Yes, I used to go to temples, all kind of temples. I used to enjoy their consciousness, but I wouldn't discriminate between कि ये विष्णु जी का मंदिर है, ये शिव जी का मंदिर है. It did not matter. ये गंगा माँ का मंदिर है. Did not matter. Only thing that matters that I am experiencing some magnetic field there. But it was really deep blessing of God to me that it made me experience those two minds which operate in this cosmos, the Devic mind and Asuric mind, which I did not believe in earlier. I said, yeah, forget all this Deva Asura, I am not interested. I'm only interested, there is Aham and there is Brahm and Aham Brahmasmi has happened. Why bother about all these gods, goddesses? But then I realized that understanding of mind was not helping me cross this big crisis I faced in my life. So that's when I started to realize that all these gods, goddesses are very intense magnetic fields of specific qualities. And what are asuras? Asuras are anti-qualities, like the matter and antimatter. So by connecting with gods, goddesses, our experience, this Aham Brahmasmi experience, it multiplies. I mean, if you do not have these cosmic beings to support you, you would still have the experience of Aham Brahmasmi, but it would be, very feeble. Right? So that is what the invocation brings in. But we have to always realize that invocation can turn us into split personality. Always remember that. Because you are connecting with Ganesha and you're connecting with Varuna and Saraswati. All are different kind of vibrational field. And you can become a split person. So always we must connect with that one where all gods, goddesses exist. All gods, goddesses emanate from one. There is one God and all gods, goddesses come from there. So you should always know that that's where you are finally connecting to. Connecting to a god, goddess is not your final destination. So from God's goddess, what is our next destination is QVF. Now, what is quantum vibrational field? It imbibes the consciousness of every being which is connected with that. So all the gods, goddesses we invoke, their consciousness is included. We all are part of that who invoke, their consciousness is included. And then it is just keep on expanding. So it keeps in touch with the evolution that is happening. So QBF is a wonderful, wonderful tool for us to experience the collective evolution. But at the same time, we should always remember that QBF exists in space. So even when you invoke QVF, always know that the vibrations of QVF are also merging in that space only. So always remember that QVF is a bridge. It's difficult for us to experience the space around us. But with the bridge like QVF, you can experience the space.
Shiva, I have one more question. So when we are invoking Varuna and then we go into Shavasana, are we then merging into the quantum vibrational field? Okay.
Yeah, we are merging into the quantum vibrational field, but we are also merging into the space. You are getting me? We are also merging into the space.
Shiva, we have a couple of questions. We have a couple of questions. One is,
Venkat, can you please type the question? Yeah.
Venkat, I'll take your question. Yeah, can you type it, please? So Chetan is asking that how do we understand these attacks, the physical, mental, that keep coming through the body layers? Like, Chetan, correct me, or you can jump in and explain your question.
No, when Shivo said like in 2007, he saw like a lot of
Asura attacks, right?
Asuras were attacking it. So
No,
my
no, not
question is, how do
2007.
you
It happened. No,
More recently than that, yeah.
Yeah. It was like peak of that I experienced in 2016 and 17.
So my question was, how do you explain these attacks? They were at a mental level, physical level, or at aura level. How? I didn't understand that.
I mean, it's a whole saga in itself. But
it is the Quanto Purana, I say. That whole.
It's a real Mahabharata which I've gone through. Just to give you one example, and there's so many. There are so many different kind of asuras. I'll just give you one example. So there, I would feel like there is a drill which would come here on my temples. And it will start to drill me from here. And the pain is like extreme, unbearable. It is unbelievable. Whatever I would do, it does not matter. Nothing will help me. Unless one day I discover, again, it was through divine messaging. I got the message that this is the energy of Mahishasura. And I was guided into, that was a first invocation of goddess I did. Okay. So I had a lot of experiences with Krishna, but Krishna I did not relate with as God. For me, Krishna was a guru, a guide, a human incarnation and avatar. And God, so he was always there with me, right, starting from 2009 till this point of time in 2016 or something. For 7 years, he was always with me. But I had never invoked any god goddesses. But when this Mahishasur thing happened, that's when I was, the only way for me, I remember, okay, Mahishasur, who killed Mahishasur was Ma Durga. So then I invoke Ma Durga, and then I start to suddenly experience this huge hurricane and huge tornado. And I actually witnessed that fight where that drill and that tornado, like, that was a tornado like you must have seen on TV, in US, those tornadoes are there, which can pull the car and car goes up 50 meters high and all that. So it was like a vibrating tornado, a cone-like structure. And this structure would vibrate and it would trap that drill, and that fight happened for 9 hours. For 9 hours in my aura, I saw that fight.
So,
and there were so many different asuras. I've just given you one example. And at some point of time, I got into very deep gratitude. I said, wow, every time an asura comes, a deva also comes. So what a great opportunity. You know, there was a time I was saying, oh God, how long, how long? But then I started to say, God, if this is what your wish is, thank you so much. I am ready to go through that. And I'm very thankful that every time new Asura comes, I also have a new Deva come in. So I was having wonderful experiences. It was a very, 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 very painful period of my life. But that was also the most creative phase of my life. It was the phase when QVF came into existence, when QVF got created.
Got it. So, I mean, in short, I mean, you have to summarize what you said. Like, whenever we try to connect with the space, or whenever we try to know ourselves, our inner strength, and whenever you try to synthesis or do meditation, so you will see some forces which may disturb you or distract you, may give you pain through physical or mental, and then you have to cope up through this.
Now, again, it's a very deep question. And if I really go into depth of this,
for example, sometimes when I meditate,
Shivu, you should give some context on why. I think some people here may not know the context that why the Asuras were attacking you. Because this is not what happens to, I'm not sitting here and suddenly Mahishasur wants to attack me. It doesn't happen like that. So can you give a, Chetan, I think that might help you understand it better.
Yeah, for example, when I meditate sometime at the backside of my head, I see this drilling pain happen sometime, but it comes and goes. So I have never thought
so
the way you have thought.
it could be the pain from your, subconscious pattern also. So even before these Asura attacks, I did go through a lot of pains. Because whenever your subconscious is getting cleansed, it's, it's very difficult. Yes, it is very painful.
Yeah.
And I remember a time when actually I experienced the reverse of Samadhi. Samadhi is like, is a timeless moment. You are just there and 2 hours has passed and you are thinking, oh, 2 minutes have passed. That is Samadhi. But in one of my religions, of whatever patterns were releasing, I went through literally the hell where I would feel that whole day has passed, but actually I will open my eyes and see the clock, only 1 hour has passed. That was the reverse of Samadhi. So that was also a pattern sitting inside. So even the patterns can be painful. So don't think that it could be some attack. Patterns are also very strong, and a lot of us in Quanto Life have experienced. Yes, so just to clear the air, why were Asuras attacking me? So one of the inquiries I had in my life through my own experiences, why in this world the evil is constantly winning over good? That was my inquiry. And one day I got the answer. And when I got the answer, I also got the sutras for empowerment of good over evil. I realized why the good people are losing to evil people. So I got the answer, the empowerment sutra for good people. And I started to teach that. And that was very, very dangerous for Asuric forces. They never wanted these sutras to come to the existence in this world. They never wanted that I should share that kind of sutra with anyone in the world. So they wanted to finish, not just finish me off, but they wanted to finish me off in a way that it would be an example that what kind of a bad condition somebody can go by teaching these kind of sutras, or someone just to make an example that never follow those sutras. That is why they attack.
Sure, sir. There is a question on YouTube. Of Beena ji. She is writing that. So how do we protect ourselves from such attack?
So be part of QVF. When you are part of the quantum vibrational field, no negative entity can tolerate it. Not just the entities, I can promise you. The more you are connected with QVF, all the destructive kind of people, either they will have to transform or they will have to go out of your life. So QVF is a very, very powerful tool. Very, very powerful. Now, yes, Mansi. So any
Shivo, can we take that question of in there, that how do we know what is the divine wish?
all right. So the difference between the ego and divine is very, very simple. Everything that is bounded is ego. Everything that is unbounded and holistic is divine. It's as simple as that. So if you are getting any experience, if you are getting any wish, any desire, which is vibrationally centered at a particular specific place in your body, it is egoistic. And if you cannot, okay, here again a word of caution. It could be concentrated in your body, but it could also be concentrated in your aura, but that's a very high vibrational state, so I will not talk about it. So if it is egoistic, the source of that you will find inside you. It is a bounded vibration.
In there, do you do synthesis?
Yes, that is a synthesis we do. Whenever you have a wish, you have a desire, you have an expectation, anything for which you cannot find that in any bounded form, that is a divine wish. So convert every bounded vibration into unbounded vibration. That would be the really the sutra for Aham Brahmasmi in these times. From bounded to unbounded vibration. Every experience that is centered, every experience that is localized somewhere in your body is an egoistic experience. Every experience that is spread out everywhere, you can feel it in your whole body, you can feel it outside you, you can feel in the whole space. That unbounded experience is a divine experience. And every wish, every desire that arises in you in that space of unboundedness is a divine desire, is a divine wish.
Inder, I hope that answers your question. The thing is, we have to develop that sensitivity to it.
You have sadhana. There can be no intellectual.
Yeah, you have to be in sadhana. It is not just a. It is not a mental thing that Shiva will say and we follow. It is an experience, and our body is an instrument which will help you determine that whether it is bonded or unbounded. So that's why we do this sadhana. We go into synthesis where every day in programs like Akhandadiya, we are looking at what is bounded vibration in us, what is unbounded, experiencing the space. So this kind of questioning and discussion is only the beginning, but you have to experience it yourself to be able to determine.
Also, I would also just like to explain one more intermediate state, which is there between bounded and unbounded. So there is something which is our individual subconscious, patterns of which are found inside our body. But there is also an influence of collective subconscious over us that may have some, nailing inside your body, but they are more outside you, in your aura. So even in your aura, there are bounded, pointed patterns. So once you have done a lot of work with cleansing of your individual subconscious, you have to also work for cleansing of collective subconscious. You really want to be free. For example, if world looks at females in a certain way, if there is a conditioning about females. So whatever this, one thing is you have gone through experiences as females, which may have troubled you and you have cleansed that up. But you are a female. So the world in the past, all that accumulated conditioning about all females, that is also affecting you. So even if you have become free from individual subconscious, they also freedom required from collective subconscious. And I experienced it, once I realized that this whole condemnation of Brahma was affecting me so much. I'm a Brahma soul, and the world condemns Brahma. World says if you worship Brahma, you will be destroyed. And I realized that was a truth in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, anybody, when everybody is fighting with each other, survival was the only thing. Person who is creative, what will happen to that person? It was obviously a knowledge was a curse in Kali Yuga. So that saying was not wrong, because this was not the age of Brahma, but now we are in ascending Yuga. This is the age of Brahma. Now, Brahma is a true blessing of today's era. But there is this huge accumulated past, and I realized it was affecting me. So I had to work on that also, cleansing of that subconscious, collective subconscious, which was affecting me. And it was not inside my body, it was outside in my aura. And I had to work on that. And there were lots of other collective conditionings which I had to work upon.
Shiva, in Akhanda Diya, are we now ready to take up collective consciousness? Like when we were doing the session with Ashutosh, I felt the Kashmiri Pandits, or just I feel like the autism, like are we ready to take that up? I feel like today, not today, but going on in Akhanda Diya, where we have been taking our individual issues. Maybe we are ready to take up collective karmic issues as we move along. Shiva, there are a number of questions. I'm just going to say, and then you can take them as and when you feel like, or it comes in the conversation. Is it okay? There are several questions.
Yeah, tell me.
One is, how do we connect with ourselves, and how do we confirm that whether we have connected?
Connected.
I think Prashant, you want to share? Shivu already said, when he talked about bounded and unbounded vibrations. And which part of you are you talking about connecting? Your subconscious, your superconscious, your conscious, So if you want to clarify that, unmute yourself.
This question is from whom?
Prashant Pandey. Can you unmute yourself, Prashant?
So Prashant, one thing is I would invite you to immediately jump in with the quantum processes, because you'll have to really experience. I mean, intellectually, there is a limit to which I can really answer any of these questions.
प्रणाम शिवो एंड जितने लोग भी बैठे हुए हैं सभी को मेरा प्रणाम। मैं आध्यात्मिक करीब 20 सालों से मैं अभ्यास करता रहा हूँ, और भगवान की कृपा रही है कि कुछ मुझे प्राप्ति इस तरह की हुई है। लेकिन इत्तेफाक ऐसा हुआ है कि जब ये इस तरह की बातें होती है तो मैं अपने आप ही उस अवस्था में चला जाता हूँ जब मुझे महसूस होता है कि मैं कनेक्ट हो रहा हूँ। लेकिन कनेक्ट होना, कहाँ तक कनेक्ट होना या कनेक्ट हो गया, उस अवस्था में आ नहीं पाता हूँ मैं। तो आज बहुत अच्छा मौका मिला आप लोगों के साथ और सुनने का भी, तो इसलिए मेरे दिमाग में प्रश्न आया था जो मैंने आपसे जानना चाहा।
तो प्रशांत जी, आपका स्वागत है क्वांटो प्रोसेसेस के लिए। प्लीज ज्वाइन आवर प्रोग्राम्स। तो वहां से आप जर्नी शुरू कीजिए। इट्स अ वेरी vehement group for spiritual practice. We are into I can say we are into the highest possible spiritual practice. And that is why we are not going into the masses, because this practice is really very, very deep. Only those who are called into it, we will include them. So we don't want to go to the masses for this reason. Because all the processes we are into, it takes very deep commitment on your side and on our side, on my side also. It requires very, very deep commitment that I take you through. And these are extremely intense processes. So a lot of care is required. So if you want to really experience, you have to come and join us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prashanti. Poonam, you're asking a lovely question. I'll ask Shivo, but I wish you were there in Lonavala, because in Osho Saraswati we kind of experienced it. So Shivo, Poonam is asking, Poonam Arora is asking, can looking in space connect us with QVF?
No, space is like vast, and QVF is a part of that. But if you connect with QVF, and if you remain aware that the QVF vibrations also merge into space, then you will get connected with space. So
Shiva, I think she's talking about looking into the stars, like looking at the space. Like Poonam, is that what you're talking about? Looking into the space?
right.
Like looking into the sky?
Okay, great.
Yes.
So how to connect? Okay, so how to connect to space?
Yeah,
Looking into
yeah.
stars? Yes, but if
Yeah.
you concentrate on stars, you will not connect with space. Okay? Look at stars without concentrating on them. Then you are connected with space. For example, look at the star, but also remain aware of everything that is around it. Then you are connected with space.
Yeah, spaces between the stars too.
Yes.
Shiva, but we
Star
all
is not the space.
yeah.
Star is not the space. What is there between you and star is the space. What is there around the star is the space. If you are concentrating on star, then you are not connecting to space. So you need a very defocused look. You can practice it right now. Look at anything. Look at anything that is around you. Let's say there is a TV screen in front of you. Just look at that. But look at that like it exists in the space, not like concentrating on it. You will connect with the space. Look at tree, like tree is in the space, not just tree. Tree is in the
Shiva,
space.
can we do it with our screens too? Right now, if we look at the gallery, we are seeing everyone over here.
Yeah.
We are seeing their names.
So when you are concentrated, you will look only at the screen. But when you are actually looking at it, you will also see everything around. Like when I see the screen, but I am also looking at the space, I can see there is a chair behind it, there is a stool, there is something else, there is an AC in front, everything I can see in one go. Now I am connecting with space. Normally, we find it very difficult to look at space. Normally, if you see, when you are looking at something, you are only looking at that. Because that's what we have been taught, to concentrate. Concentration has been portrayed as a great value. But let me tell you, there is a value which is greater than concentration. Concentration is not the greatest value of life. Again, we have been through a very low conscious yoga. And we have adopted a lot of Asuric principles because those worked. So concentration is highest is an Asuric principle. We have to move beyond that. Not concentration, but connecting to space.
Shivaji?
Yes.
Yeah, Venkat, I was just coming to your question.
Please, madam. Ask
So
Shivaji.
Shiva, Venkat says that the space, there is dark matter and dark energy, and then to that space, when we add the time dimension, we have space time. The curvature.
Curvature.
Yeah. And he says the reason we are stuck to Earth is not because of gravity, but because space pushes. What are your thoughts on that? What is your question?
I really don't know what could be the deep scientific dimension, but I can only answer from my own spiritual experience. So definitely I agree with this, that we are not on Earth because of gravity. We are on the Earth because our vibrations are matching it. That much I can say.
Indrajit, you were asking for an example. What were you asking an example for? Could you share that? Indrajit, are you here? Yeah, I missed the moment where she was saying something and you said, give me an example. So don't know what you're talking about. So, okay, whenever you can speak, just share. And Shivo, Chetan, actually, 1 minute, I think Shivo has kind of lost Shivo, just 1 minute.
Sorry, I dropped out.
Yeah.
So
Can you turn on your camera also?
yeah. Okay, so that reminds me of another very important dimension. The electromagnetic field on Earth has suddenly risen in past 25 years. And actually every 12,000 years, once in 12,000 years for 500 to 700 years, the electromagnetic field of the Earth, it takes a huge leap. And that's when a lot of people, there was this discussion in commune few days back that in Canada, the temperature has gone to 49 degrees. How is that possible? So this is definitely not the result of pollution or greenhouse gases and all. It is coming from the huge plasma which is flowing in solar system. There are a lot of evidences for that. I will not go into that. But same thing had happened 12,000 years back. And as a result of that, the great floods came, and the epic flood we talk about in Hindu scriptures, where the fish saved Manu and humanity. That was a flood that happened as a result of that event 12,000 years back. So now the electromagnetic field has risen so much. That is why my understanding is that Dev Lokas and Asur Lokas, they have come very near to us, and they are living with us at this stage. Devas and Asuras, they are there as part of this world. And as humans, I don't think we humans can live alone. Either we have to be with Devas or with Asuras. So it's a great opportunity and it's a great challenge also, because if you see the kind of incidents of black magic, entity encroachment, all this, these were not there 25 years back, 50 years back. It's here, maybe she can find out. I don't think so many instances used to happen. There were few entity encroachment cases, there were some black magics, but the extent at which it is happening. The reason is the electromagnetic field is so high that somebody, let's say, throws even a small energy. It is so easy for that energy to create a passage and to reach the target. It's very easy because electricity is very, very high. But for the same reason, even in it is very easy to connect with Devas. So, I mean, it's not because the technology came, so the internet came. No, it is not true. The truth is that human beings were getting connected with each other so deeply that a technology had to emerge to take care of that. So emergence of internet is a spiritual phenomena. It is a technological phenomena, but more than that, it is a spiritual phenomena. So this high electromagnetic field have given rise to this great internet technology, but it has also created huge challenges. And one of the great challenges it has created, now it's an established scientific fact that the natural disasters have gone up many times. The earthquakes, the tornadoes, the floods, the fires, everything has gone up. It is because of the very high electromagnetic field. So the number of earthquakes, I don't think earthquakes can be connected with greenhouse gases at all. They cannot be connected. But the truth is the number of earthquakes is many times more today than they used to be 50 years back. So these are all the phenomena which are created by this plasmic era. And Quanto Life is a spiritual path which does take care of this challenge too. And we are constantly working on imbibing more and more of this plasmic consciousness. Yes, Mansi, I think we should now go into invocation. What do you think?
Yes, sure.
Is there any urgent question?
No, I don't think so. If anyone has, they can ask. But I think that, I think the questions will continue. But I think people are ready. What do people feel? You all feel ready to go into invocation?
Yes, Mansi, can I say something?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Before we start the invocation, शिवो सर, चरण स्पर्श। मानसी, आपको भी नमस्कार।
Hello. Who's
speaking?
Shivo, Poonam is speaking. Poonam, can you say again? I don't think he heard. Did you hear, Shivo, what she said?
No, I could not.
Could you say it again, Poonam?
चरण स्पर्श शिवो जी, आज गुरु पूर्णिमा पे मुझे आपका आशीर्वाद भर भर के चाहिए।
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Shiva, can we make all our offerings? Can we share our gratitude? Poonam, thank you for starting this. Even I want to share so much gratitude to Shivo for channeling, for leading so many people through their heroic journeys, including me, including my son, and really for channeling the right guidance we have needed as recent as yesterday, throughout our, and just really being there. It gives us, Shiva, I think you are in an aura, when all this electromagnetic field and in this plasmic age with all the asuras and devas and everything, it is the greatest source of inspiration that you are in our aura, and then that we have you with us through all this. Thank you. So grateful to you, Shiva.
Thank you very much for your love.
So, Mansi, Ranjana here. So, I just want to say, मैंने शिव सर जैसा कोई व्यक्ति कभी देखा ही नहीं. So different, so unique. I've never seen anyone like who, I mean, the way he is for everyone's. I mean, people learn so many modalities and come and, they think they know so much. But Shivo is someone जिन पे ये सब चीजें ascend हुई है, and he is yet so humble, and he has zero ego, and he's ready to accept all other modalities and everyone's point of views and give another dimension to everything. And I feel so blessed that I am in the chatar chhaw of a living master, and मैंने पता नहीं क्या अच्छा काम किया होगा जो I got to be blessed to have him as a guru.
रंजना, बड़े मजे की बात बताता हूँ। जिसके ऊपर डिसेंड होता है ना
जी,
उसको कभी वो ईगो स्टेट में जाना उसके लिए बहुत ही मुश्किल है, नहीं जा सकता है। क्योंकि उसने इतना वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस किया है ना, जिसने कहीं से पढ़ के सीखा है उसको हो सकता है एक बार उसको लग सकता है कि मैंने बहुत कुछ सीख लिया, क्योंकि उसने वो वास्ट स्पेस एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं किया, है ना।
या ट्रू। वो शायद कृपा ही आप पे इसलिए हुई है बिकॉज यू डिडंट हैव।
हाँ, ये दोनों ही बातें हैं। इट्स अ परपेचुएटिंग साइकिल, one feeding into another.
Sure. Thank you so much for your presence, sir. Thank you. A deep pranam.
Thank you, Ranjana.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I just like to say thank you for sharing your knowledge and your generosity of sharing the entire Quanto family with each one of us. So I salute your spirit and much love to you and all around. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchita.
Pranam Shivo sir, Pranam Mansi. So I am like, just I want to go down and to both of you and gratitude. So, but I want to say one thing, that whenever I see Shivo sir, so मैं सोचता हूँ कि चालू किधर से करूँ, क्योंकि बार बार शिव सर जब भी आते हैं और जब भी समझ ही नहीं आता है कि चालू किधर से करूँ, किधर से आई डोंट नो कैसे स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी की चालू करूँ. So I don't know basically. So I find myself nowhere कि किधर से चालू करूँ. जब शिव सर को देखता हूँ like, so या मानसी को देखता हूँ, so I don't know how to start. So I need guidance from where to start.
तुम्हारी स्टार्टिंग भी अच्छी हो गई है और तुम्हारी डायरेक्शन भी बहुत अच्छी है. बस चले चलो, बाकी तो गाइडेंस मिलती रहेगी.
हाँ, थैंक यू. इसमें भी मैंने क्वेश्चन कर लिया, लेकिन हाँ, इट वाज अ क्वेश्चन. थैंक यू.
चुप लव रहते हैं.
Shiva, thank you so much for always there. It's such a great fortune, great luck for us that we have you. And most of the times, I don't even see you as a guru. You are more like a friend, a divine friend. That's what I feel whenever I'm with you. You don't, you are so generous. You are so humble. You are such a fantastic host. So sometimes I don't feel that you are a guru figure. You feel more like a divine friend. I'm so grateful that I found you in this life, and I get to meet you so frequently. It's a really a great blessing for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mukul, and I'm enjoying your friendship, and I'm enjoying the friendship of so many others. And this is what I love. This is how I love to live. Yeah, because I get to learn from everyone, right?
You don't need to.
No. Let me tell you, the more you know that you don't know. जिसको टोटल नोन है ना, उसका टोटल अननोन है.
I don't know. I don't understand much of spirituality. I understand that I'm with the right person and I'm going right direction. That's what I understand. So thanks again, Shiv.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mukul. Yes, so we will now start with the invocation.
Shivu,
Okay,
Suman
we'll connect.
a couple of lines for you.
Yes, please, Suman.
Yes, please, Suman.
It is always lovely to hear her.
Pranam Shivu sir, Pranam Mansi, on this auspicious day of Guru Poornima. Am I audible?
Yes, sweetheart.
Okay. My throat is not well today, but I'll try.
ये हार्ट सिंगर ऐसा क्यों बोलता है जरूर गाने से पहले कि मैं कल मैं जरा ज्यादा आइसक्रीम खा गई थी, ऐसा बोलते हैं लोग। हर कोई सिंगर यही बोलता है।
कॉन्फिडेंस कम होगा।
सुमन, हम तुम्हारे अनबाउंडेड वाइब्रेशन से कनेक्ट करेंगे। तुम गा लो।
गुरु गोविंद दोनों खड़े, काके लागू पाय। गुरु गोविंद दोनों खड़े, काके लागू पाय। बलिहारी गुरु आपने, गोविंद दियो बताए। ओ मनवा गोविंद दियो बताए। गुरुदेव हो मेरे आप, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। गुरुदेव हो मेरे आप, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। दुख का मारा हूँ मैं, मेरी अर्जी सुन लेना। गुरुदेव हो मेरे आप, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। तुझे छोड़ कहाँ जाऊं, कर दो कृपा मुझ पर। तुझे छोड़ कहाँ जाऊं, कर दो कृपा मुझ पर। बालक में तेरा हूँ, आया तेरे दर पर। सुन लो ना विनती मेरी, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। सुन लो ना विनती मेरी, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। गुरुदेव हो मेरे आप, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। दर दर पर भटका हूँ, और कहाँ कहाँ भटकूं। दर दर पर भटका हूँ, और कहाँ कहाँ भटकूं। एक आस यही मेरी, तेरे दर्शन पाता रहूं। एक आस यही मेरी, तेरे दर्शन पाता रहूं। मेरी आशा पूरा करो, मेरी अर्जी सुन लेना। गुरुदेव हो मेरे आप, मुझे शरण में ले लेना। मुझे शरण में ले लेना। मुझे शरण में ले लेना। The song is dedicated to Shivo sir and Mansi from all the Quanto families. Thank you.
Suman, thank you very much for your beautiful feelings and expression.
बस शरण में रखिएगा. Thank you.
So much love to you. So much love to you, Suman.
Can I say?
Yes, Kalpana.
हाँ जी. Hello. Hello, Mansi ji, Shiva ji.
Yes, Kalpana.
Can I speak
Yes, please.
one floor?
Yes, please.
Because I cannot speak more, just I can say to you, Shivo ji and all other guru, whoever are helping others to join this Quanto and teaching us, and I want to thanks everyone. So just I say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Thank you. Thank you, Sivaji.
Thank you, Kalpana ji.
Kalpana. I just want to share with everyone that Kalpana is going through very, very intense back pains. And so when we invoke today, please, send your love and your, wishes and healing to Kalpana. Shivu, there are
Thank
many
you,
messages
Nancy.
for you on chat if you want to go through. Love you,
Okay.
Rashi, too. Yeah. Love you, Geeta Masi. Rohini, thanks for coming and being here. Prachiti, lots of love, Geeta Masi.
So thank you everyone for your best wishes and for your gratitude, and my deep gratitude to everyone. So Mansi, shall we start now?
Yes, please, Shivu. We are all ready and waiting for you to lead us.
So let's look at let's transform our personal desires into cosmic desire, okay? Whatever may be your personal desire. One way is we can feel guilty about it, that why do I desire this, right? And we can keep struggling with that guilt throughout our life. And neither the desire will go nor the guilt will go. And you will spend your whole life in this split. So, what is the way out? In the first place, God gave you that desire, and that desire got connected with ego. So the problem is not that desire. Problem is that it is rooted in the ego. That is the problem. So today, let's free that desire from our ego and let it get grounded in the space, and let it be channeled through us. Let it become a cosmic desire which is being channeled through us. Okay?
Shivu sir, if
So,
I don't feel remember any intense desire, then
yeah, then take a feeble desire, not so intense desire. Whatever it is.
because my desire is it is not so long that it's not get fulfilled, so it becomes feeble automatically. So like that.
No, then it is like it is covered with mud, but it is still there inside.
Okay.
Right? So in this, when we transform our personal desire into cosmic desire, this is the same sutra for channeling the cosmos also. Channeling the space. So whenever you are in a great crisis, you can apply the same concept, the same understanding, offer this crisis to cosmos around you, and its resolution will channel through you, and you will be surprised, super awed by how it resolves your situation. So let's sit down comfortably in Quanto Asana, which is the Ardha Sukhasana, or you can also sit in Sukhasana, Padmasana, whatever you like. But Ardha Padmasana is the best. Keep your hands open, facing upwards. Breathe deep, breathe out very deep. Focus on breathing out. Feel the desire or a situation which is a very difficult situation. Breathe out. You will feel the breathing is hot. The breathe out is hot. Just keep breathing out. Every breathe out will make you feel more relaxed. Now just go into the easy breathing, natural breathing. Feel as if your whole body is breathing in. The belly goes out and the breath goes in through your whole body. Feel the whole body expands when you breathe in and contract when you go out, breathe out. Feel your aura is breathing. It expands when you breathe in and the aura contracts when you breathe out. Now let us invoke Quanto field by saying Quanto 3 times. Quanto, Quanto, Quanto. Experience a Quanto field all around you, touching your body from everywhere, penetrating your body, going inside. Feel Quanto vibrational field, the vibrations penetrating your whole body, up to down, down to earth, left to right, right to left, all direction, or in whichever direction. The whole body is penetrated by quantum field. Everything inside your body is visible to quantum field. Can observe every vibration inside you. Now feel any deep conflict you are having, for which you are seeking the guidance of space. You are seeking the channeling of space, or feel any desire which is very deep rooted in you. Feel this vibration of this conflict or desire inside your body. See where are these vibrations. Is it in your head, in your face, in your shoulders, in your chest, in your stomach, in your genitals, in your thighs and legs and so on? Where is this conflict or desire? In what form it is? Allow the quantum field to observe this. And in this observation, it dissolves. Now observe that the same vibrational field which is inside you also exists outside you in your aura. So feel your aura till wherever you can feel, till wherever you feel the boundary is. Feel this vibration of conflict and desire existing there too. It exists in space. And QVF is observing that. You can observe it too. You are spread out in the space. You can observe these vibrations of conflict and desire. You are experiencing the dissolution of this vibration, this bounded vibration. It is releasing in the space. Allow it to release. Just be with the space and the vibration at the same time. Be with the space, be with the vibration, be with the body. Observe all together. Every situation can dissolve in this observation. As this vibration releases in the space, the space inside your aura, inside your body, will be filled by the vibrations from space. So the inner energy is dissolved outside, and energy from outside comes in to replace it. This is the dance of Nataraj. This is what we call Nataraj. This is the dance of destruction and creation. The vibrations, the ego vibrations inside you are getting destroyed. New vibrations entering you. New creation is happening. This is the dance of Nataraj. Be with this dance. And when you feel, you can go in Shavasana. Let this exchange of vibrations between your body and aura and space go on. You will be surprised how easily your conflict can resolve. So now we'll close the meeting. You can go into Shavasana. Thank you very much for joining us.